direct, birth weight, weaning weight, yearling weight, cavities, maternal.
Is even more mystical. So let's get back to functional EPDs. Let's start with one that makes sense. Birth weight. On this animal I'm looking at right here, it's one of my bulls. He has a 2.8 birth weight. For an Angus, that's a little heavy. He's kind of a bigger calf because Angus try to get those things down there to 0 or below. But you know what? What I found is I run bigger cows, and I'd rather that baby get here, me even have to occasionally pull one to help him get here, and him have some vigor, some size about him, and save me a month of him gaining weight to get to 100 pounds. If he's born at 90, he's a lot closer than the one that's born at 40, and he's going to weigh more when I sell him, which matters to me. Now, it might not be the best for your operation. You need to know what your operation is trying to do. Are you working with smaller cows? Big difference. You may need that lower birth weight. Are you going to be able to check them every day? If not, you may need that lower birth weight. But again, that birth weight can get down there too low. That birth weight EPD, you get it down there to -4, -5. Some of those calves get here and they don't have any vigor about them. What's vigor? Well, when a baby calf is first born, you need them to be able to get up and kind of fight that mama a little bit to get a hold of that hind teat and get to sucking some milk and get that colostrum in their system. Well, if a baby's too small, he just has a hard time doing that. He just falls around. It doesn't have the energy, and maybe it's especially on these heifer mamas that just don't know how to take care of her baby. It's a little skittish, a little sore under there. She kind of walks off, and he can't keep up and keep focusing on getting that milk. But I guarantee you that 90-pound calf's going to get his head under there and go to nursing as fast and as hard as he can. Again, you need to know what your functional purpose is. But more important than birth weight is now Calvin Ease Direct. Calvin Ease Direct focuses on how easy a calf comes. So I've got some that have bigger birth weights, like this bull I was just talking about, but has better Calvin Ease Direct. What does that mean? What does Calvin Ease Direct? Well, directly from the cow involved, that calf should come easy or come more difficult. That it factors in the shape of the calf, it factors in length of calves, and it factors in body types. That sounds crazy, but it's actually a really important and far more useful stat than birth weight. If Calvin Ease Direct is low, you better keep an eye on those cows. And I've got some that I have to watch because I really like the dad, but he's not the easiest calver in the world. So I just make sure I breed him to cows that aren't having any trouble. Weaning weight. Well, that's pretty simple. That is, what do they weigh when you wean them? Weaning weight just tells you, is this calf going to wean heavy or light? In fact, weaning weight is supposed to give you an estimate of how many pounds they will gain compared to a similar animal with similar breed registries. Now, something important to know about EPDs. EPDs do not jump breeds. Well, if I've got a Simmental and I've got an Angus, their EPD stats don't mean the same thing. It sounds crazy, but these breed registrations are not all the same. They have slightly different formulas, they have different numbers because of different formulas, and they have different numbers of animals within each breed. So a Charolais stats, a Brahma stats, Angus's stats, a Hereford stats, and a Simmental stats are not going to correlate. Now, there's some cool programs out there from different universities where you can actually go in, punch in the number, and it will give you a correlation. But simply looking at stats between Angus and a Simmental and saying, oh, well, this Simmental has a Calvin Ease Direct of 7 and this Angus has a Calvin Ease Direct of 7, that doesn't mean the same thing. Different numbers for different breeds. And you got to get in and learn a little bit of that if you're going to be focused in on it. Last one we're going to talk about today, yearling weight. That's what they're going to weigh at a year old. You know what? If you're selling them at 6 months old, that number doesn't matter a thing to you. So stop buying bulls based off of yearling weight if you're only selling calves at weaning. There's no purpose in it. You're spending money on a bull to do something that you don't need him to do. And sure, you can be holistic and think, well, I'm just trying to help the person after me. But you're not, that's not your job. That's not what you're trying to do. You're trying to produce a calf that at 6 to 8 months old is doing exactly what you want it to do. So get ones with high weaning weights if that's your goal. Maybe you're going to keep them 12 months. Maybe you're going to grow them out. At that point, you need to know about yearling weights, and you need to make some decisions based off of that. But if you're not focused on yearling weights, don't pay for a bull that's focused on yearling weights. It's easy to fall into this trap and this push that EPDs are what you're buying, but you're not buying tools, you're buying animals. And animals need to fit your program and your process and what you need done. If you're paying for something that you're not getting the benefit from, then you're wasting money. And I'm talking to myself as much as I am to you. Thanks for shooting the bull with me today.
Thanks for shooting the bull. And don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel so that you can get all the latest updates.